What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Donald Trump's nominees for lifetime appointed judge positions get grilled at their confirmation hearings today. And I'm going to share with you, and I need you to watch this. I need you, if you are serious about politics, if you find yourself diving into politics, wanting to figure out what the hell is going on, I need you to watch this. Because elections have consequences. Us not voting Hillary Clinton in has a consequence, despite you not liking everything Hillary Clinton had to offer. There was a more substantial consequence to not voting Hillary Clinton in and voting Donald Trump in because you were mad, or you wanted to protest, or you wanted to do something different, or you wanted to rage against the machine you thought you was raging against, or because you wanted to be a contrarian politically, right? There were consequences for you not electing the most qualified candidate in American history, Kamala Harris, to be the president, knowing she was going to do a good job, simply because she's black, because she's Asian, because she's a woman, because she's a Democrat, in favor of Donald Trump, who we had already rejected for Joe Biden. So apparently we only voted for Joe Biden because he was an old white man. Apparently, right? But there are consequences, and the consequences of those are the president is the person that gets to appoint the lifetime appointment of judges who will be dictating what kind of country we have for the remainder of their life. Meaning they don't have to get elected. They don't have to worry about going on campaign trails and doing shit. You know why? They are lifetime appointed judges. And he's appointing conservative, racist, white supremacist judges to lifetime appointments so they can legislate from the bench for their whole fucking life. That's the consequence of elections. So all you guys, all these guys playing around, these FBAs, these black Republicans, these goddamn Stephen, what was that? The football head dude, the dude to be talking about sports. Stephen A. Smith talking about, we should just not vote for Democrats and we should vote for Republicans one time. You mean right now? Conveniently, out of all the times we could have been voting for Colin Powell's type Republicans, Michael Steele type Republicans, you want to vote for the MAGA, racist, neo-Nazi Republicans. That's when we should stop and say, fuck it, we're going to protest the Democrats and we're going to go over here. How stupid do you think we are, Stephen A. Smith? This is not the time to sit on the couch, Tariq Nasheed. This is not the time to sit on the couch or pretend to be a libertarian, Mark Lamont, what was it, Mark Lamont? Whatever his goddamn, Mark Lamont, the guy, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Huh? Libertarian, let's sit on the fucking couch. And then he sit on the fucking couch, and then afterwards, then you want to complain about the results of you not doing shit. Because that white woman you voted for, as soon as she fucking lost, she disappeared. Again. Y'all want to sit here and pretend like the Democrats are these evil group of individuals. Oh, they ain't the way they call it the party, KKK. The conservative Democrats / Dixiecrats were the party of the KKK. They are now called Republicans. It's something called the Southern Strategy. All these supposed educated, college-educated individuals seem to have forgotten or didn't know. Maybe they didn't miss that in class or some shit like that. Huh? Everybody's sitting here blaming the Democrats, right, about some shit that they didn't get, especially these black Coonarians who just got involved in politics, even though some of them don't want to vote. Right? I don't know how you can be involved in politics and then tell your people not to vote. That don't even make sense. You must be working for the Republicans who want to make sure nobody vote. Because the problem is Republicans and their policies are unpopular, so they always jump on populist issues that their old crusty ass, white CNN, Fox looking mofos sitting in their couch and shit waiting to die care about. That's what they talk about. They want to make sure that all the freshly, newly minted human beings that got a thought, got more than one or two brain cells, that can actually think for themselves, actual free thinkers who freely think and process and comprehend information so they can know what is the best thing to do for their people in their community. They don't want those people voting, obviously. That's why they defund education in all those white communities that you white people come from. Because they don't want your asses to be smart. Because what happens when you're smart? You make better decisions, and the better decision is not to vote for a Republican, because the Republicans going to do exactly what they just did, put white supremacists, neo-Nazi, rich-ass white people in office in positions of absolute power that don't even care about the regular, average white person. They don't care about the poor white person. That barely care about the middle-class white person. and don't care about nobody else that's POC or black. The only thing they care about is corporate profit. Corporate profit. Christian nationalism and corporate profit. That is the God and the culture of whiteness. And you enablers, you black Coonarians, you FBAs, you Phil Scotts, you Tariq Nasheeds, right? You got your O'Shea Duke Jackson somehow is a Republican. Yet right now, even though he's a Republican, he's complaining about what the Republicans do. Even though he said he became a Republican like 10 years ago. Let me see. Trump ran what? 10 years ago. So when Hillary ran, he said, I'm not voting for that qualified woman. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because that makes sense. And now look, and now he can make content about how the white Republicans are doing this and doing that. But you are a part of the machine at which we are fighting against. Same with all Tariq Nasheed and Phil Scott. All these Republican shills who are now trying to grift and make money off of the Republicans and shit that they do, even though they said they was going to do it. We've been knowing they was going to do it. They was always doing it, right? And not one of these Republican pundits, not one of these Republican shills, not one of these black Republicans, not one of these black content creators, not one of these FBA ever came out and said, I'm a black man, I'm a black woman, this is what I want, and this is what I didn't get. All y'all complain about shit y'all don't want, but yet y'all didn't ask for shit. And instead of taking the power that we have, which is 20% of the Democratic Party, which is the progressive part of the party, which our allies are in the progressive portion of the party, we're supposed to be fighting to take over the Democratic Party because that is the only political power that we have in this country. The only. Listen, like it or not, it's the only. But you want to get that up and go over there to Mr. KKK, Mr. Neo-Nazi, and see what those neo-Nazi and those rich neo-Nazis and Klan going to do for you. Even though they're making it abundantly clear that you are the clear and present danger to their survival as white supremacists. Make that shit make sense. I'm tired of these black niggas getting rich and then all of a sudden want to throw black people on their bus and say, go vote for the real racist neo-Nazi. Or they go vote for the racist neo-Nazi and then complain about what the racist neo-Nazi did after he said he's going to do the shit, and then you voted for him, said don't vote for that black person because they black. Don't vote for that woman because they're a woman, because women can't lead. But that white man you voted for 3 times, you telling me he can lead? That nigga couldn't lead a goddamn casino. All you got to do is build the casino and let people spend their money. He failed at that, and you made him the president. And now he's appointing lifetime judges that can't answer a goddamn simple question. And he's going to have the power to legislate and affect everybody's lives. All these judges that you don't know because you don't pay attention, because you're too busy talking about what some African hurt your feelings way back when, because you have to make that shit up because it probably never happened. You sitting here paying attention to diaspora wars and shit. You sitting here talking about somebody's hairline. You sitting here fighting your own people because you're too weak to fight white supremacy. Yet we got white supremacy in suits trying to change our lives and ruin the future of our children. But y'all worried about the bullshit. That's why nobody can take y'all seriously, because politics and elections have consequences, and we are suffering the consequences of you Coonarian black people and all you white people who are racist actions and all you misogynist actions. That's what's happening right now. Suck it up and take it. Ain't no forgiveness. You did what you did 1, 2, 3 times. I'm sorry. That's not a mistake. That's a habit. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.
The individuals who Donald Trump is seeking to appoint to lifetime federal judgeships are collapsing under the most basic of cross-examination during their confirmation hearing before the United States Senate. Democratic senators and Republican senators are cross-examining these Trump nominees, and they're asking these Trump nominees who want these lifetime federal judgeships, they're being asked the most basic questions. Is Donald Trump eligible for a 3rd term of the presidency? Who won the 2020 election? Was January 6th an attack on the United States Capitol? What powers does Congress have under Article 1 with respect to the United States president going to war? And when these questions are being asked to these judicial nominees, these nominees are just collapsing on live TV. The thing is, people aren't seeing this really, other than on the Midas Touch Network. So Let's get out the word and let's show everybody what is taking place at these confirmation hearings of individuals woefully unqualified. Let's take a look at what happened when Democratic Senator Coons was cross-examining Donald Trump's judicial nominees for different federal judgeships across the country, for district court positions. Watch as he asks them if Donald Trump is able to run for a third term. Let's play this clip.
Mr. Mark, if I might, just tell me about the 22nd Amendment. What does it provide?
The 22nd Amendment, Senator, my career has mostly been in criminal prosecution. I haven't had an opportunity to use that one specifically.
Anyone able to help on the 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution?
Well, Senator, I believe it is the amendment that deals with a two-term limitation on
Correct.
the service
It
of the
states
president.
no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. Mr. Mark, is President Trump eligible to run for president again in 2028?
Senator, without considering all the facts and looking at everything, depending on what the situation is, this to me strikes as more of a hypothetical of something that could be.
It's not a
raised.
hypothetical. Has President Trump been elected president twice?
President Trump has been certified the president of the United States 2 times.
Is he eligible to run for a third term under our Constitution?
I would have to review the
All I need to
actual
tell
wording
you
of
is
it.
the language of the constitutional amendment that makes it clear that no, he is not eligible to run for a third term. Anybody else brave enough to say that the Constitution of the United States prevents President Trump from seeking a third term? Anybody willing to apply the Constitution by its plain language in the 22nd Amendment? Nobody. All right, let's move on.
Then Senator Blumenthal cross-examines these individuals who Trump wants to appoint to federal judgeships who won the 2020 election. Here, play this clip.
Who won the 2020 election?
Senator, I wanted to be mindful of the canons here. I know this question has come up many times in these hearings, and it's become an issue of significant political dispute and debate. So with that, I'd say that that President Biden was certified the winner of the 2020 election.
He won the election. Is that your response?
Senator, I think my response is he was certified as the winner by counting the electoral.
So you're unwilling to say he won the election. How about you, Mr. Roberts?
I'm sorry, Senator.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones.
I apologize, Senator. I have the same answer as my colleague, Senator.
Same answer
Senate,
as the previous one.
the previous nominee. The Senate did.
Mr. Coons, how about you?
Thank you, Senator. And I have the same answer as Mr.
Same
Hendershot.
answer. Unwilling to say that Joe Biden won the election, correct?
As Mr. Hendershot said, it has become a matter of political concern, and Joe Biden.
Well, it's a matter of
certified the
political
winner.
concern, but it's also an issue of fact.
And
Is it not?
Joe Biden was in fact certified the winner of the 2020 election.
Mr. Mark?
Same answer, Senator.
I am amazed and really appalled that nominees for a lifetime appointment to the federal bench are unwilling to respond on an issue of fact. And I'm not going to try to get an answer out of you because clearly you've been rehearsed to provide a stock answer, which I think really reflects not only on your honesty, but really on your fitness to be a federal judge, because you are supposed to be independent and to arrive at the truth based on the evidence before you. And I think it's pretty irrefutable that Joe Biden won the election, but you're unwilling to use that word because you are afraid. You are afraid of what? Of President Trump? That is exactly what we do not need on the federal bench today. We need jurists who are fearless and strong, not weak and pathetic. And I can't tell you how disappointed I am. We can disagree on issues of law. We can disagree on issues of fact, but for you to simply avoid a factual and responsive answer, I think is a disrespect to this committee as well as to us.
More questioning from Senator Blumenthal about January 6th. Let's play this clip right here.
Let me try another question. Was the Capitol attacked on January 6th, Mr. Hendershot?
Senator, this same kind of question has come up, I know, many times in these hearings. And under Canon 5, which I consider myself bound by, that is a matter of significant political controversy.
It's a matter of what?
It is a matter of significant political controversy.
It's a matter of controversy that the Capitol of the United States was attacked? You've seen the videos, have you not?
Senator, I've not seen many of the videos, to be honest.
How do you answer, Mr. Jones?
Senator, I also believe it is a matter of significant political controversy, and there's also a possibility that there could be litigation still over those events that could appear before me. And as a nominee, I don't believe the canons would allow me to comment on.
Well, I'm as troubled by that response as I am by Mr. Hendershot's, because there's zero chance that it will be before your court if there is any litigation. Mr. Kuhn, how do you answer?
Chair Grassley, may I?
You answer the same?
I was asking the chair if I could answer.
Just so you know, I'm waiting for Hall, and so I suppose if you want to continue to ask questions, but I want to ask Henry.
Well, I just want to finish with our last witness here. Give him a chance. Mr. Coons, go ahead, and then I think you're going to avoid the answer too if I understand.
I do agree with my colleagues that it is a matter of political concern. I believe the language used by the Supreme Court is that there was a breach, and I would leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get to.
Even MAGA Republican senator from Louisiana, Senator Kennedy, was horrified by the answers he was getting from these judges. Watch as Senator Kennedy, again, MAGA Republican from Louisiana, asks one of these judges about war powers, especially right now that Donald Trump unilaterally or with Netanyahu is in this unlawful war in Iran. And what powers does the Senate, does Congress have? Here, play this clip.
Well, when does the president have to get permission of the United States Congress to use military force?
Well, Senator Kennedy, as I was discussing with Ranking Member Durbin, I do want to be careful about hypotheticals in terms of prejudging.
It's not a hypothetical. I'm asking what the Constitution says. When does the President of the United States have to get permission from Congress to use military force?
Generally, Senator, my understanding is the divisions between Article 1 and Article 2 distinguish between the war powers, which are under Article 1 and require congressional consent. Again, talking in great generalities. Whereas other use of force, if I understand your question, are things that are likely committed under Article 2 to the President's commander-in-chief powers.
I have no idea what you just said, Mr. Hendershot. Let's try it again. Tell me when the President has to go to Congress to get permission to use military force.
Senator, I think is when, because the text of the Constitution, Article 1, talks about declarations of war, those would be circumstances where the President would, in a general sense, and use of force that is not war under the commander-in-chief power, I think those are under Article 2 without the consultation of Congress.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I just don't understand what you said.
Then you have Senator Durbin Durbin cross-examining one of these individuals who Trump wants to appoint to a lifetime federal judgeship about his view on the Second Amendment, because this individual is part of a gun club that says there can be no regulations at all regarding the Second Amendment and guns. All guns should be able to proliferate everywhere. Watch the response from this individual who Trump wants to have appointed to be a federal judge for life. Play this clip.
Do you share the Gun Owners of America view that the Second Amendment renders all gun laws unconstitutional?
Senator, respectfully, I think if I were to answer that question, it could involve both a political question and something that could come before.
But here's where we start, Mr. Jones. You voluntarily joined this organization with radical views. And now that is part of your biography before this committee. If you want to make it clear that you now have changed your views or explain why you joined the organization, here's your chance. But to duck it and say, I don't have to comment on this, is to leave us with the conclusion you agree with them.
Senator Durbin, I don't believe I'm ducking it. I don't believe, first of all, it's with the characterization of it being radical, but I would say that I don't believe as a nominee with somebody, if I were to be confirmed, cases that could come before me on the bench could involve issues involving the Second Amendment. I don't believe it would be appropriate for me in this hearing to comment on my view of the Second Amendment and what I believe it entails on those types of issues. I think that would be inappropriate as a judicial nominee.
So you say that their position that all gun laws are unconstitutional is not radical?
And again, Senator, I would say it would be improper for me to opine on something like that, since matters could come before me. But I would say that for most organizations, just because someone joins one doesn't mean they necessarily agree with everything that someone in the organization may say later on or at some point.
Mr. Hendershot.
More questioning here from Senator Durbin to another individual who Trump wants to appoint to a federal judgeship for life. Like, will you follow basic orders? Will you follow the law? Here, play this clip.
Will you condone or permit that kind of repeated resistance to court orders that the Ohio Redistricting Commission engaged in?
Well, Senator, as my colleague mentioned, I think the judicial canons certainly apply to us here as nominees. And I think to engage with a hypothetical about, for example, a map or something like that would be inside the space that the canons fence off. So I'm happy to talk about my role.
You believe it's arguable as to whether or not a party is bound by a court order?
No, Senator, I don't think that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is my understanding of the canons, the way I take them to bind me here, is to not prejudge a case other than talking about issues at a high level of generality. Otherwise, it's to prejudge a case that may be pending or impending before.
This is just the opposite. You weren't prejudging. You were representing a client who was resisting a court order. And it says the Supreme Court of your state ruled 5 times that the maps violated the state constitution and had to rule the state's congressional maps twice. It would seem to me that as a judge, you would expect a lawful order to be followed. Is that correct?
Yes, and I do expect lawful orders to be followed. If you want, I'm distinguishing between the hypothetical that I took you to be asking about and my role representing certain members of the Ohio Redistricting Commission. I will note that there was 7 members of that separately represented. As that litigation went on, there was even further separation of the representation, and including that I ended up not representing the members for the entire time of the litigation you described.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Kennedy. Yo, there was a slave ship in the name of Jesus. There was another ship they called Matthew, Peter, and Paul. Oh, God. There was a slave ship they called the Holy Spirit. They had another ship that they called the Holy Ghost. Oh, shit. There was a slave ship named Virgin Mary. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. There was a slave ship in the name of Jesus. There was another ship that they called Matthew, Peter, and Paul. Oh, Lord.
Free Sudan. Boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan. Boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.